Okay, the very definition of crazy is to try the same thing over and over and over again while expecting different results. Let's talk about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. Now, Tomb Raider is another attempt at turning the very iconic video game series of Lara Croft into a movie. We've seen it before with Angelina Jolie, and yes, young 14-year-old me really liked that because, yeah, puberty. Why else? And this time around, we do explore the origins of Lara Croft. She's down on her luck, we get to see her everyday life, and there's just something inside of her. She wants to achieve something. So when she stumbles upon messages from her father who's gone missing like 7 years ago, she embarks on a quest to unravel the truth. And now we've got our movie. Now, as you already know, I'm not a huge fan of video game adaptations. I like the very first Mortal Kombat. Maybe the first 3 Resident Evil films are okay, and yes, the original Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie was trash, but again, 14-year-old me loved it. Now, going into these movies, I always have very low expectations, and yet, this movie still managed to disappoint me. But let's address the positives first, because not everything about this movie is horrible. First up, Alicia Vikander. I hope I pronounced her name correctly, because every single time I hear her name, someone pronounces it differently. She is amazing as Lara Croft, and first time we meet her back in London, it is actually fantastic, phenomenal. She's smart, she has charisma, she is not OP, no, she's not a Mary Sue, she is vulnerable, and the very first action sequence that actually takes place in London, which is basically a bicycle chase sequence, was so much fun that I was like, oh, they're taking this seriously, and this could be a very enjoyable flick. However, once the actual adventure starts, the aspects that all the video game fans want to see, yeah, the movie slows down like shit. It gets boring as hell. This movie is a snooze fest. No easy way around it. This movie was so boring. Nothing happened. She lands on the island. The motivation for her going there is not very clear. Then we got her father, who is Mr. Exposition. Everything that comes out of his mouth is exposition. And the plot, the mythology, you know, the Indiana Jones aspect of the film, the temple and all the mystical and magical things, are not interesting. Nothing about these things felt engaging or interesting or exciting. It was all just handled very poorly. The action sequences also, apart from the very first one, are filmed with a lot of shaky cam, and the pacing is just shit. And we gotta talk about our villain, because we got Walton Goggins in the film. I love this guy. He was in The Hateful Eight, and he was the standout performance in my humble opinion. Yeah. Completely wasted. He's worse than 90% of the Marvel Cinematic Universe villains. That's how bad he is. You're like, yeah, he doesn't even want to be in that film. And yes, this movie really ends with kind of a post-credit sequence because they are so overly confident that they think this movie is going to get a sequel. Personally, I hope that this franchise can just die. It was yet another poor attempt at turning a video game into a feature film, which is why Tomb Raider gets the shit award. Yes, I know, really harsh. I did like Alicia Vikander. I liked the first 15 to 20 minutes, but then it just got obnoxious, boring, uninteresting, and I was so glad when the movie finally ended. If a movie tortures me with boredom, I can't even call it a time stealer. It is what it is. This movie got the shit award. So Tomb Raider, have you seen it? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you like what you see and you want to see more, then just subscribe.